Hello, beautiful queens. My name is Yessi D, and you're now watching Woman to Woman. Alright, guys, so welcome back to another episode of this amazing show. With me today, I have a very special guest, very dear to my heart. Please, Killiany, can you please come up here?
Thank you.
I mean, no one else is gonna do it. Alright, so
right.
How are you, Killiany? How's it going?
I'm good. I'm good.
For those who don't know, Killiany's actually my cousin from my dad's side. So her dad and my dad are brothers, which makes us first cousins. So, Killiany,
Yes.
I know you have a story to share.
I do.
Since it's woman to woman, and you're a perfect example, I'm just gonna ask you, what do you want to talk about today?
So I came here to talk about my recent miscarriage that I had.
I'm getting emotional, sorry. Keep going.
Well, yeah, that's basically what I'm here for.
And so, let us know, what was the process through that miscarriage? Well, before you answer that question, how did you feel when you first found out you were pregnant?
I was so excited. I was so happy because it was just something that I wanted for like a while. We were trying for like a year. So it was something that
It was meant for you.
it was, yeah, I was just so happy.
You wanted to be a mom. You wanted to be a mom.
Yeah, yeah.
So, leading up to the miscarriage, what happened? Like, what happened that day?
The day of?
Yes, ma'am.
So I was at work the day of the miscarriage, which was, it was actually December 22nd, so it was like right before Christmas.
Oh, wow.
Yeah. So I was at work. I worked 7 to 12, and then after work I was going to meet up with a couple of friends. We went out to lunch, and then we were going to finish some last minute Christmas shopping. So we went out to lunch, everything was fine. And then when we got to the store, I just felt like I had to go to the bathroom. And I don't want to be like TMI or anything.
No, let it out,
but,
let it out.
I was like, I really have to go. And I pull my pants down.
You gotta do what you gotta do.
And yeah, and so my pants were kind of like covered in blood. And I was like, it kind of didn't like
connect yet?
Not that, because I was already bleeding a little bit before, but it had stopped. So when it started bleeding again, I was like, okay, like something's really off. So again, not to be TMI, I went to go like clean myself up, and then when I looked at the toilet paper in my hand, there was my baby. So it was really like hard because I was at a store, and there was people like I said, there was only one stall open, so there was people waiting. So I'm like, what do I do?
Yeah.
Like, I don't want to just like flush it, you know? Like, it was hard. So I work in a hospital, so I had like a sterile cup in my purse. I don't know why. It was just in my purse.
Those random things that you pull out your purse?
So I put it in the sterile cup, and I took it to the hospital, and that's how it happened. At a store, during Christmas. It was hard.
Yeah, it sounds really hard.
It sounds
hard. I don't know. The thing is, though, like, talking about the story, I knew she was pregnant. I knew what happened. So it's different when I film it because I don't want to show the pain, even though it didn't happen to me. But I really wanted her to get pregnant. I really wanted her to have her own family, her own child. So the fact that, and it's also because we're really close. Like, she's like my older sister, so I was like, well, I'm going to have a niece or nephew, and then the fact that you lost your child, it was
hard. I
really
mean,
hard. And then she waited to tell me on my birthday that she was pregnant, which was the sweetest part, but then I was like, geez.
Yeah, because I found out I was pregnant November 18th.
Yeah, it was a week before Thanksgiving, literally.
Yeah.
And my birthday was right after Thanksgiving.
Yeah. So I waited a little while to tell you. I wanted to tell you so bad. But
I know.
I was like, I was going to make it a big birthday surprise for her.
So, after you were at the store and you saw what happened, and so what were the steps you had to take to better yourself, to make sure everything was okay with yourself?
So, Anthony, which is my boyfriend, he was like, do you want to go to the hospital? I said, no, I don't want to go to the hospital because I already know what happened. So we were going to go home, and he's like, are you sure you don't want to go to the hospital? Do you want to go to your mom's house? I was like, no, I just want to go home. So in the car, I started like crying so hard, you know. And he's like, we're just going to go to your mom's house so that you have support. And I was like, okay. So we went to my mom's house. As soon as I got there, I just started bawling again. Like, it was just horrible. And Mom was like, we have to go to the hospital. I didn't want to go to the hospital at all because I already knew. My mom just kept saying, well, you never know, like, it could have just been anything. And I was like, Mom, no, like, I know.
That motherly instinct already hit you. Like,
yeah,
you already
like,
know.
I know, but there was no signs, no symptoms. It was just, like, usually you feel pain.
Yeah.
I didn't feel anything. I just had bleeding. So we waited at the hospital 5 hours just for them to tell me yes or no. 5 hours.
And what did they do?
They just did an ultrasound to see if anything was left. The only thing that was left was the sac that the baby was in. But that was it. 5 hours. It was horrible because I just wanted to, like, I knew in my head that it happened, but like I just wanted to confirm. And
why was it? So I don't know if you want to tell the viewers, but why was it so hard for you to miscarry? Like, why? Because I know why it was so hard for you, but they don't know why it was so hard when you lost the child. What's your journey? What was the journey like when you, like, finding, you know what I'm talking about? What was the journey like?
So ever since I was little, I was always the type of person to play with dolls. Like, I was always like a mom to, like, baby dolls. Like, that's what I like to do. So, like, when I was younger in, like, high school, I guess I was, like, more mature than a lot of people because I just wanted to be a mom.
You've always been mature. Always.
Of course, I wasn't going to do it when I was in high school. So, of course, we waited until I met the right person and stuff like that. So, when me and my boyfriend moved out, we decided that it was time to try and start. So, when we started trying, we kind of realized that something's wrong. Like, we can't get pregnant. Like, what's wrong? So I went to the doctors. The doctors found out I had PCOS, which is polycystic ovarian syndrome, which is hard for people to get pregnant with because they have cysts on their ovaries and it stops, like, eggs from, you know. So that was kind of, like, depressing because I was like, okay, now it's going to be hard. Like, I thought I wasn't going to be able to have any kids at all, like, ever. We still tried, and at that point I was like, you know what, forget it, like, it's not going to happen, this isn't for me. Of course, when we stopped trying, that's when it happened.
Because you weren't expecting it.
I wasn't expecting it. I was so stressed on trying to have a baby, get pregnant, that the stress was stopping me from getting pregnant, I guess. But it was just a lot, like, I don't know.
It was like one thing after another.
Yeah, pretty much.
So did you fall into depression? Like, was your anxiety bad? Like, what were you feeling? So the question is, what's the advice you will give to women that are facing this? Because, like says the show, Woman, there's people out there that can relate. So not every situation is the exact same, but I'm sure that people can relate on a level of miscarriage or what you went through, like finding out the what you had, that
PCOS,
that you couldn't have kids. So what is the advice on that you would give to women?
So I actually know a lot of people who have PCOS. Not everybody who has PCOS, not everyone who has it makes it hard for them to have kids. There are people who can have kids easily and people who can't. I just don't give up. Like, there's always hope. And I know it's hard to hear that because I know what it's like to hear that. But just really don't give up because that's all you need is hope, faith. You need everything. And then for miscarrying, like, I know it's hard to hear, oh, was it meant to be, or stuff like that, because I know what that feels like, and it's hard to hear that stuff. But it's true. Like, don't give up. There's, you know, it was meant to be. It would be here. You know. And, like, I know it's hard to see people out there who are pregnant with healthy pregnancies or healthy babies, but it'll all come to you. If it's not meant for you, then, I mean, it sucks to say it, but, you know, it's not really for you. God makes your plan, and if He doesn't want you to hold a baby, then, unfortunately, that's life. And it sucks because, like me, like, I would love to have my own, but if that's not God's plan, then I'm okay with it. You know,
I feel like hearing that is also like, because even though I'm not a mom yet, or I don't want to have kids on my own, I choose not to have kids on my own, but knowing that somebody wants to have kids and that they can't, it's like, we take things for granted. And also, she's an amazing aunt. Like, she loves her nephew to death. I call that kid my little godson. I love that kid like he was my own too. So I know it was hard, and especially since we're so close, it's so hard. But remember, like, someone who's supporting someone who's going through that, make sure you're always there. Make sure I was always checking up on her, making sure she was okay. Her right in mind. Even though I wasn't here physically, I always made sure I was there emotionally and spiritually because she needed that. And I know that you're so strong and you're so motivated and you're gonna do what you gotta do. And I know, like, right now it sucks.
Yeah.
And I know it hurts, and I know that there's a lot going on. But the real question is, from this experience or from what you went through, did this help make your relationship not only with your boyfriend but with God any stronger?
Oh my God, yeah. So after like the miscarriage and everything, it took a couple weeks to just kind of like, you know, like this is my life, like this is my story. So I started going to church on Sundays more frequently than I used to because I really didn't go to church. But it has made my relationship with God and Anthony a lot stronger. A lot stronger.
And what is it that makes it? Is it because you guys are both going to church together, or is it because you guys are doing this together, or? Yeah,
we're doing it together. I mean, it affected me more than it affected him, of course, because, you know. But we're doing it together, and that's the good part.
Yeah, it is really good. I love hearing that. I really love just hearing that you're doing good all together. And anybody who's going through that right now, just never lose hope. And I know she said it sounds touche, but really, never lose hope. I know there's going to be moments in your life where you're like, why, God? Why you do this to me? And if you don't believe in a God, or if you don't believe in general, like, just think, why did the universe do this to me? And I know there's some things that are not meant for you, and there's a lot of things that are meant for you. So just don't give up. Just keep going for what you got to do. But is there anything else you want to add to your story?
I just want to say that God has your plan already planned out, so don't worry.
Don't lose the faith.
Yeah.
But
definitely.
Her name is Killiany. This is her story. But until next time, beautiful queens.